had to because it was getting kind of long. With it was getting out of regulations for the Army. So as you, if you're new to my channel or whatever, I'm a 92 Yankee as a supply specialist in the U.S. Army. I've been in for about 4 years now. My last video I did was a discussion, beginning discussion of Army Basic Training, Part 1. I guess this is Part 2. Didn't really get much through it, so, but yeah. Part 2. So, and a lot of you that's viewing my videos ain't subscribed to my channel. And it would really help if y'all were to subscribe to my channel. So, alright, we got somebody in the, watching the, live stream. Comment and ask questions. So, right now I'm just wearing, it's 22:39 here. I'm in South Korea. So it's like 10:39 p.m. for you muggles. So yeah, I was in the reserves. I'm now in active duty. I was as a combat engineer, which is a 12 Bravo. So yeah. Like I said, if y'all want, y'all can subscribe, share, comment on the in the videos. I try to be as open as possible. I'm trying to do this to help others that are wanting to join or that are thinking about joining as a combat engineer or a supply specialist, or in my case, going from reserves to active duty, transitioning from that point. So we got some viewers. If y'all want to, y'all can ask questions about anything, and I'll try to answer them to my best ability. Right now I'm in South Korea and Camp Humphreys. It's pretty decent. I'm originally, my home unit is Fort Carson, Colorado. So, goddammit, that is crazy. I hate wearing glasses. So continue on discussing about basic training. You also do what's called PEX course. I don't remember the actual full wording for PEX. But it's like the confidence course, but it's not as hard in my opinion. Sorry about that, people. Somebody was calling me. I don't know who, don't know what. So, with the PEX course, after you've completed, you'll compete for a streamer or a banner or whatever it's called, or whatever you want to call it, for bragging rights kind of thing, against other platoons. So my platoon, in basic, won the PEX course streamer very closely. And then we also, during that day, we also did a release run, basically a 2-mile run, of how long you could do it. Again, if you want comment in this video, ask questions. So but yeah, like, comment, subscribe channel, share it. I make military videos, Call of Duty videos, and just random other videos. Mainly documenting my military experience. I'm a specialist, which is an E4 in the U.S. Army. I started off as a Private 2, your mosquito wings, basically. So eventually, you will get issued CCOs. You'll zero with them also. And then, let's see. Anybody want to talk? Also, when you're out in your FTXs, there's a possibility you'll get hit with a mortar simulation. It's early in the morning and you gotta run and get shit together quickly. For all these viewers that are viewing my video and shit, please subscribe. So the mortar simulation, hold on, see if I can do it. I can do it, the sound, but it'll sound like that, if y'all could hear that. Basically high pitched like that. And then you'll hear a loud explosion after that sound. So also eventually you'll do land nav. It can be difficult sometimes, depending on who you're with and who your team is. I advise y'all to get people in your team that has the skill set in every portion of land nav, whether that be pace count, plotting points, shooting an azimuth, whatever. Let's see. So at first, my group we only there's 6 points you have to find. My group at the time only found 3 of them. You get a time limit of 4 hours on the land nav, 3 to 4 hours. It's plenty of time if you know what if you actually pay attention to and know what you're doing. Like I said, a good person to go to for that, as far as YouTube wise. What up, Pirate? Pia? I'm not even gonna try to. What up, G? I'm not going to even try to pronounce the first name. Sorry, it's kind of hard. I'm not trying to butcher it. Are you thinking about going in? Are you already in? Are you thinking about enlisting? So yeah, there's a time limit of 4 hours on the land nav course. Yeah, some people do get it. Some people do complete land nav pretty quickly. Again, it just depends on your team that you have with you. We didn't do. We only did day land nav for some reason. We didn't do night land nav, which, thank God. I don't like night land nav. It's really hard. And sometimes your compass will not work at all. It just depends. So, Grant Gordonson asked, what's my MOS? My primary MOS, I have 2 MOSs technically. My primary MOS is a 92 Yankee, which is a spy specialist. My secondary MOS, which was my original one before I reclassed, was a 12 Bravo, which was a combat engineer. I did my original basic training. Well, it was OSET for me. Did it at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, which is so. The Army has, I believe, 5 TRADOC locations, beginning TRADOC locations anyway. Some of them have changed their names recently due to certain issues or conflict, but they are Fort Sill in Oklahoma, Fort Benning in Georgia, Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. Did I say Fort Benning? Fort Jackson, and I believe there's one more. I just can't think of the name of it. But those are the main 4 I can think of. They do have nicknames for them. Some not so good. For example, Fort Sill is not a good nickname. People tend to take the permanent nap a lot there. That's just what they do. Sometimes a lot of people do. Fort Benning doesn't really have a nickname to it. It's just Benning. Home of the infantry, I guess. Fort Leonard Wood is usually nicknamed Lost in the Woods because it's literally in the middle of the woods. And Jackson is Relaxing Jackson. Ooh, Okay, you were 92 golf. I'm sorry, a cook. Damn, airborne too. Supply, yeah, supply can be a pretty easy job depending on where you're working at. I work in the S4 shop, so it's pretty easy. Uh, yeah, Fort Lee changed their name too. I don't remember what they changed it to. Uh, but yeah, I was wanting to go to, and Benning is also where you go to for airborne school. I was thinking about going airborne. Also, when I reclassed to supply, honestly thought I was going to Fort Lee because usually the 92 series, if I remember correctly, do go to Fort Lee for AIT. And I thought I would go to Fort Lee and have it like what I seen at Fort Leonard Wood, where the prior service were doing, where they have their own barracks or whatever, and do their own thing separate a little bit from the initial trainees. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for me. I was on the reserve side. They sent me to Salina, Kansas, to do reclass for 92 Yankee, and also I seen that 92 Golfs also did reclass training there too. So not a very good spot either for Salina, Kansas. There wasn't much to do there. So the reason Grant Gardenson asked, why did I reclass from a 12 series, or from my combat engineer job, from my combat engineer MOS. So originally, why I reclassed from my 12 Bravo series was that I was transitioning from reserves to active duty, and I knew with supply, I knew I could virtually go anywhere I wanted to, because usually supply, like the three main MOSs that can go pretty much anywhere that they want is supply, fuels sometimes, and medics. So I was like, I want to open my casting net, quote unquote, to locations I want to go to. I didn't want to be limited of locations, but I didn't know at the time that, and Carson was one of my choices that I wanted to go to. Oh, the haircut ain't that bad. It's basically like this. That's all it is. Faith is key. That's all it is. It's a basic buzz cut. It's not that bad. I advise you before going to cut your hair, not this short, but a little bit longer before going. So, if I remember correctly, you'll be going up by the Great Lakes, close to Chicago. But anyway, also subscribe to my channel. I post military videos and stuff like that. And like them and subscribe it. So when I was at MEPS to picking my active duty station, they asked me, they gave me the option whether to choose to stay with my 92 Yankee, which I recently reclassed to, or go back to being a 12 Bravo. I chose 92 Yankee, not knowing that the one place I wanted to go to, which was Carson, would have been a choice for either 92 Yankee or 12 Bravo. I didn't know that Carson had a route clearance unit like I was in for the reserves. If I would have known that, I would have stayed at 12 Bravo. Honestly. Because when I was transitioning over to from reserves to active duty, you have to have access for a 92 Yankee, for a supply specialist. You have to have access to G Army, your E-Flipple and shit like that, and be under the right UIC and all that stuff. And it's just been a headache ever since. I literally waited like six months roughly from the time I got in on the active duty side to now, to get access and be able to do my job. So I advise you, if you're wanting to reclass or wanting to go to a specific place or unit, and you're qualified for 2 MOSs, make sure see if both those MOSs are at your duty station that you want to go to. So faith is key. Are you at BT or the new program that Army just issued out? And if so, how cool is the new program? Yeah, I'm not sure what new program you're talking about. Also, I graduated basic training like 3 years ago. I'm not in basic training anymore. I'm on full active duty. I live in the barracks. I'm a single soldier. Right now I'm in Korea on a rotation. So, but yeah. Been in for about technically 4 years, but they don't tell you this. If you go from reserves to active duty, they take away some of your time. So when I came over to active duty in this April, I had a total of a little over 3 years of military service time. They took it down to 2 and some months, because reserve time doesn't fully transfer over to active duty time. So right now, I did not get demoted though. I'm still at my specialist rank, which is an E4. I'm still part of the E4 Mafia, if y'all want to do that shit. So yeah, I never had to go through Skittles camp or fat camp. So I can't speak on that. I know there's been people that have. It's embarrassing, honestly. Just make sure you can at least be physically active as much as possible. So yeah, what up, Raw Lang? Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, also. So Grant Gardson asked, "Are you studying for the board yet? Since you're in Korea, you should just keep your nose in the books." I believe I make time and service and time and grade right now, but the fact is, I don't meet the points for it for 92 Yankee to get promoted to my sergeant rank, my E5 rank. Now, which the points right now, I just looked at them recently. To get promoted to sergeant, you have to have 321 points. I currently only have like 77 points. But if I would have stayed as a combat engineer again, I would have already had enough promotion points to get my sergeant rank, because it's only 24, 25 points. But yeah, I ain't eligible for the board yet, so there's no need for me to try to study for it if I don't meet the requirements for it yet, or the prerequisites for it yet. So I have completed the first requirement for I did do DLC. Okay. Which is the online prerequisite to BLC. To leadership school, basically. Prior to coming to active duty. So get online and do correspondence courses. I've worked on doing those correspondence courses. They don't tell you this, but you have to do at least 5 hours of correspondence courses just to get 1 point. So I am working on some kind of civilian education. So, but also, for the new people coming in, or enlisting in the military, the military gives you about $4,000 every year to help pay for school. So you could use that to your advantage on top of financial aid if you want to use financial aid. So it's like maybe 1 or 2 classes a year, which, I mean, it's slow progress, but it'll get you won't pay out of pocket for your education. But yeah, alright. So also, like I said in my previous video, you do a test for every phase, at least for the Army does, for every phase that you're in, and then sometimes there's stuff on there on the phase thing, on the phase test, that you ain't covered yet, but and also the Army during basic training, you'll have peer evaluations. Sometimes there's only one. They tell you that there's only one, but there's sometimes 2 or more peer evaluations, depending on the drill sergeants. Eventually, you will get fitted for your pinks and greens. Let me show y'all real quick what the pinks and greens are. They're basically the Army service uniform. Now basically they're replacing the dress blues, the Army dress blues. So. So, the pinks and greens look like this now. It's like it looks like the World War II style uniform. Here's my badge for 90 Yankee. My unit awards. My nameplate, I ain't got it done yet because it's technically is optional right now. Oh yeah, it's the quartermaster crest, and then since I got the U.S. emblem, and then my quartermaster emblem right here too. My marksmanship badge, which I got sharpshooter for the carbine, for the M4. All my awards so far, my ribbons. So now, people coming in after, I believe, December 21 or 2 will not get this National Defense ribbon anymore. The only ribbon that they will get is when they complete basic training or AIT portion is this ribbon right here, which is the Army Service ribbon. I did basic back in 2016. I graduated graduated high school in 2016. They don't do shark attack anymore, by the way. It's stupid. And then you got your unit crest on both shoulders. I don't have it. I ain't got this fully updated yet. I got issued a new one when coming over to active duty, so I ain't got my what's supposed to go right here is your unit patch, your rank, and then if you've ever deployed, your unit, the patch you deployed with, and then your rank. I really like these ones. Honestly, they look a lot better than dress blues. One solid color. The pants are like a brown, light brown tan color. So yeah. But I'll be right back and putting this away. Also, what I advise y'all to do, they'll sell these closer when you graduate. It's called a garment bag. I advise you to, they're kind of like $50, $60. but they work. They keep your uniform nice and clean, keeps from it getting ate up by bugs or whatever. You're right, Chris. Okay. I don't have. It's different for the deployment packs. It's different for the pinks and greens. Yeah, they changed it, so it's like the World War II style uniform. And then there is no more unless like you're airborne or something like that. There is no more beret. It's the straight old school garrison cap. And then let's see what else. The boots. The shoes, they're like a dark brown color. Let me show y'all what the shoes look like. The shoes look like this. They're not going to be polished like this. I polish mine because it looks a lot better. But yeah, it's these are the dress shoes. You can easily polish them once you get out of basic and all that. So I like to polish them. I come from a military family, so and my family served when they had the black combat boots, so I was instilled to polish my shit literally where I could see the reflection. So also, by the way, if yeah, unless you're airborne, it's still the Maroon Berets. I'm not sure about the jump. I think, yeah, I did see them wearing the boots too. I wouldn't wear the boots. Honestly, that's too much. That sounds too much like BDU era. I don't like the boot. I don't like polishing the boots. That takes too damn long. Also, if you're still on here, faith is key. The Navy finally switched over to the coyote brown boots, so you ain't gotta wear the black boots anymore. They look like, they kind of look like these ones, honestly, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah. Also, if you ever, when you go to basic faith is key. Make sure you don't wear a smartwatch. Take a smartwatch with you. Do not take a smartwatch. Take a basic watch like this. But yeah, I kind of got off tangent a little bit. If you want Grant Garrison, you can subscribe to my channel, please. So also See. But yeah, the pinks and greens are really nice. I like them. They match, in my opinion, they match a whole lot better. They're a solid or a similar color. It's not multiple colors and thrown together. So and eventually during basic you'll get a chance to throw grenades. That can be fun. I'll tell you right now. Alright, so Grant Garrison asks, going to sick call to BTW. Okay, I'm trying, for going to sick call for what exactly? As you're proactive prior to discharging? Oh, you mean like, I'm not getting out anytime soon. Alright, thanks for the engagement. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh. I mean, it depends on what it is, in my opinion, for sick call. Because if you're not careful, you can fuck yourself over. Yeah, I know. I know about the paperwork issue. But I'll see you later. But yeah, I appreciate the engagement. It really helps me out, helps others out. Speaking from experience, from others' experiences. Like I said, it just varies from situations, from person to person in the situation. So, but yeah, so eventually, in basic, you'll be able to get to throw the grenades. They're not like in Call of Duty. They're a lot more powerful. Like you'll feel a shock wave at least 100 feet away. When you throw it, do not try to look and watch it go down range. Just once you throw it, duck down, because if you don't, you will get tackled by the drill sergeants. But yeah, it is a graduation requirement to throw the grenades. There is a certain way you gotta hold them. Let me see if I can. So, I guess use these two things. So you gotta hold them like this and close to your chest. They'll brainwash it to you when you're in the chow hall to get the muscle memory down. And you can literally pull the pin as long as your hands don't move at all, and just hold it there, and it won't go off at all. But if you move your hand, thumb, or anything a millimeter, that fuse starts counting down. You have like 4 to 5 seconds before it goes off. So, yeah, you could potentially take the permanent nap in basic if you're not careful. It has happened before. Not very often though. So also you will get tested on the different types of grenades, and they will test you on it. When you first do the grenades, you'll throw the dummy grenades, which is like little equivalent like to little pop rock firecrackers almost. But when you do the real thing, it's a lot more powerful. When you're not throwing a grenade, you'll be in a bunker, but you'll get to watch other people and watch the grenades go off. You could almost literally, I've seen people, the drill sergeants, hold the dummy grenades. They're not that powerful, so you can literally hold them in your hand and let them go off, and they won't really do anything. But yeah. So let's see who else is on. Anybody else on who wants to chime in? So, if you fail land nav, you will do it again. They'll have you do it again. You don't want to. They give you one chance to redo it. Don't fuck it up. I got it the second time the time I had to redo it, I got it down in 2.5 hours. And then eventually you'll do what's called buddy team live fires. Basically, you'll do like you'll have two barriers or whatever, and you'll be stagnant from each other, and it's not real rounds. It's like either blanks or you'll just say pew 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 blah blah blah. You'll say, cover me while I move, battle buddy. The other person will say, I got you covered. The other person will act like this suppressing fire. You move, and then once you're at your next point, you'll say, set, and then the next person will do it. And it's kind of like a game of military leapfrog, if you will. It can be fun. It just makes sure you have a loud enough voice for it. Make sure they can hear you, because if not, it'll fuck you up. So that usually, the buddy team live fire will happen like about a week and a half until you before you graduate basic and officially become a soldier. When you officially become a soldier, you'll get what I call, I don't have it with me, but what I call the Army Participation Patch. It's literally the U.S. Army logo as a patch. original U.S. Army logo. Not the new one that just came out. But yeah, you'll wear that patch on your left side as your quote-unquote unit patch. Now, when you get to your first duty, your first unit, whether that be Guard, Reserve, or active duty, take that shit off when you get there, because you're gonna really stand out really badly, and you don't really wear that participation badge at all anymore. So yeah. Let's see what else. Again, there's like 3 FTXs. One of them is called the Hammer. The next is the Fords. The Fords, you'll do the PEX course and the Confidence course again to see how you improved from the first time. And then you'll do a ruck also. So we got so they put us, because it was raining and shit or whatever, they put us in small buildings for the Fords. There was about 20 people in the building. It was a small building. And sometimes you do have a cuddle buddy. Not gonna lie. So now the Fords, let me look. Is okay. Ten May. So the Fords is about a 4-day or 3-day and a wake up event. So it's not very long. But in those 3 days, you're not going to be able to shower and shit like that. So you're going to stink. Don't try to engage into some intimate sexual events or whatever. I have seen it. It happened in my unit. This guy and girl did some stuff. Mind you, you stink really bad. You ain't showered for 2 or 3 days straight. So yeah, She did something with them in the Porter John. Let's just leave it at that. It was nasty. I'm sorry, but you gotta be really desperate if you're doing all that. So yeah, it's basically 3 days I wake up. So and also with the forge, you'll do a 4-mile ruck to one of the ranges. I was the first one in my platoon to finish with the ruck, which surprised me because I'm not really good at rucking. I suck at it, honestly. But my trick is for the rucks, if you're able to, every 2 miles or whatever, take 2 things of ibuprofen. They work. They help out a lot. Also, break into your boots really well. But yeah, you'll get during the rucks. Sometimes you'll find a ruck buddy, or sometimes you'll find people that will motivate you to push and push. It's all a mental game mainly. And that's all it is mental. Nothing more than a mental game. Alright. And then eventually during that forge or whatever, the forge portion, you'll do NIC, which is Night Infiltration Course, which basically is where it's at night. You climb over a wall, a small wall, and then you're low crawling for about a length of a football field, or high crawling. I high crawled most of the time because you can do that. But you have like your way down here, have rounds going over your head about way up here. So even if you're high crawling, you won't get hit at all. But it can be intense if you're not used to it. And exhausting, very exhausting. Because you're carrying your weapon with you. You also have your ACH on you and all the other gear shit that you have on you. But yeah, and then every so often there'll be flares that shoot up in the sky. You don't want to look at them. You just keep going. They are used to help light the sky up a little bit every so often. Every 5 or 6 rounds that 5 or 7 rounds that shoot over you, you'll see one that lights up a little bit, and those are tracer rounds. But it's pretty fun. But if you wear it can be exhausting. So, and then at Nick and Night, they'll have you do the bonfire rite of passage. It's basically towards the end of your basic training that basically makes you officially a soldier. And in my experience, because I did OSET, they told us so that was the Friday, we got did the 4 Mile Rock, and then Nick at Night, and then after we got done with Nick at Night, we did the Bonfire Rite of Passage. So we were pretty much almost done. We only had like 3 or 4 weeks left of OSET in total. So the Rite of Passage took place on a Friday. They told us that our AIT portion would start on that following Monday. You will get sometimes, depending on your drill sergeants or your commander at basic, you do sometimes get weekend passes to go on, have time to yourself and some battle buddies on post. Also, and you'll eventually find out eventually we'll get your pictures that you ordered, your memory book, or your or your basic training video that you ordered. I advise you to get at least your basic training video, because it shows what you went through and you can look back at it. So yeah, and then you'll after your Rite of Passage that following week, you'll start your AIT, whatever. You'll get phased up to the next phase, which was Black Phase. Alright, who's on? Make sure you like, subscribe, comment in the video. I'd like to hear your feedback or questions, whatever you have. So yeah, you'll get a so you'll get a day pass too sometimes. Again, the passes really only start happening when you enter AIT portion. Sometimes they can happen when you're in basic portion, but not very often. I never really saw it. So and then sometimes going with a battle buddy can be kind of, for the pass, can be aggravating, because in my experience, a situation I had was that the person I went with was trying to get a phone, and we literally spent a whole pass him trying to get a phone, and you can't be alone during when you're a trainee. So it sucked, because all I was trying to get was a bigger PC, because the PC I was issued originally did not fit right. And then on your pass, they'll allow you to have your phone on you, and also take your personal bag with you during that pastime. Or you could just use what a lot of people did, use a medium rucksack to carry shit. Do not bring any food back. Make sure it's all ate before you get back. Alright, sorry about that. Somebody was calling me. Also, eventually, the drill sergeants will allow other soldiers to call cadences. That can be fun and very creative. Some of them, like, there's been some very creative cadences from people that got famous, like popular off of. I can't remember the dude's name, but there's a pretty good one called Fallen Soldiers, and they turned it into like a kind of a rock song, but it's really good in my opinion. So, but yeah, like on your pass, you can go to the gym if you want. You can go to the food court and stuff like that, whatever. So, I was a combat engineer for OSUT. You work on learning how to do a demo knot around a block of TNT, quote unquote. It's not a real thing of TNT, but it's like a simulated. It's supposed to simulate TNT. Sometimes it can take you a while, like it did me. It just depends. Also, you'll learn how to prime different types of charges, and you'll have a testing on it. It's a hands-on test. And then you'll also learn how to place those charges like on walls, trees, support beams, a chain, and like concrete pillars. Standalone MDI. I don't remember what a standalone MDI was. But yeah. Sometimes you will have to retake your test if you fail it. You will eventually get to do your explosives, and that would be fun. And when you do them, like the crater charges and shape charges, literally will leave a 12-foot wide hole in the ground. And I wish I wish we could have recorded it, but you can't. I do have videos of that being done, like explosion, a shape charge or a crater charge being done on when I was on the reserve side, but you can't do it. You can't record it while you're in TRADOC. So yeah. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment my channel. And for a lot of people, the hands-on testing is a lot easier than written tests. It just depends from person to person. And then eventually you will work with the 12 Charlies to construct the Bailey Bridge. That can be fun, especially if you like working well with your hands. There will be times that they do a health and wellness test or check. It's basically they'll inspect your locker. If it's fucked up, they will toss it. So be careful on that. You will also do vehicle and personnel searches. And it's pretty easy for the most part. You just gotta know what to do or pay attention to what you do. So yeah. So when you're building the Bailey Bridge, it is kind of like the beams are pretty heavy. So you gotta work as a team to build it. You're not building it with one or two people. You're building it with the whole platoon. So or OSA, whatever, or AIT, make sure your pay is correct. Make sure it's not fucked up. Make sure you check your pay on a regular basis, your LES, because sometimes your pay will get fucked up. Like for me, I had my own apartment, so I was supposed to be getting BAH, but wasn't getting BAH, which is basic allowing for housing, and I wasn't getting that, and it caused me to fall behind on rent. Luckily, you're covered with that. You're covered under the Civil Service Relief Act or whatever, where if you're in training or deployed or whatever, you can't get kicked out of your home, your apartment or whatever. It's illegal for them to do it. So also, at Fort Leonard, there's also a lot of decent looking, if you want to go fishing during your pass or whatever, on your family day, or right after your graduation, I would, there's a few spots I've seen that were pretty decent, and then there was a time when we got what I call silently smoked. The drill sergeant didn't say anything, but he smoked us. And never experienced that before. A silent smoking. His name was Drill Sergeant Belcher. And it was just like passed around kettlebell. We had a kettlebell, passed it around in a circle around the bay, and then we also had to do push-ups too, and then some kind of walkbacks. I don't remember what that was. And then when you do the Bailey Bridge, you'll also be tested on that for your knowing the parts of that. You have to identify 20 out of 28 parts correctly. I only missed like 2 things on it, so it's pretty easy, honestly. So basically, for that test, all you have to do is match a little square number with the correct name on the paper. Alright, we got a viewer. Who is it? Have you served? Are you thinking about serving? Or not? Okay. So and then with us being a 12 Bravo, we had to do a HDPT, which is a heavy-duty physical test. It's a physical test for our MOS, for 12 Bravo at least. You have to drag a weighted dummy about 50 meters, and then lift, and you have to lift and pick that dummy up out of a hole, a makeshift hole. It's about 4 feet, a 4 foot deep hole, but it's not a natural hole. It's like on a platform, quote unquote. And then you also had to carry 5 crating charges, 100 meters. Each crating charge has to be carried 100 meters down. They give you the option to carry like 2 at a time. So making only like maybe three trips down, and then or carry 1 individually. If you have the strength, I try to carry 2 at a time. That way you don't make as many trips. And then after that, you carry 2 45-pound kettlebells, 100 meters, which the 45-pound kettlebells is the same weight as the sprint drag carry. Interesting. Alright. I think I'm gonna end this live. I might do a part 3. Maybe. I don't know. But it is almost midnight here in Korea. So I'll see y'all later. Remember, like, subscribe, comment on my channel. And aim high, fight and win, stay motivated, I guess. I don't know. I ain't really developed a close off setting. But alright, talk to y'all later.